Hello guys. We're back live. Guess we had a few challenges here and there, network and all. Audio was a problem, but we are back. So welcome to Civic TV, ladies and gentlemen. I'm just sharing this so that we commence with the live, guys. Yeah. So basically, welcome back, guys. I'm sorry I was having a few technical hitches here and there, but I'm glad they're now solved. So we're back, we're live, and we're now ready to have this conversation. Oh, good, Maureen. At least you can hear me now. So I was having a few technical hitches with my audio. That's why I had to restart the entire live. So I'm sure we're good to go now. So welcome to this live. So basically, we'll have a discussion. We'll be reviewing a few things here and there. Welcome, Kausi. I hope you had a good weekend. Yeah, so guys, welcome. Sorry, we had a few technical issues here and there, but we're good to go now. I really hope that you guys had a good weekend, and the weekend is not yet over. So yeah, I am wishing you a good Saturday still. But then, so I'll first of all start from a recap that. Let me start with a recap from last week's conversation because it's like a series. So everything that we've been discussing back to back uh, is related. So welcome, Tuli. Welcome. So basically, I want us to do like a recap of what we discussed last week, and then from there we get to progress into now the subject matter that we are meant to discuss tonight. Please, in case there's an issue, let me know because I'm on a very shaky network today. That is even the first live that I started could not suffice. So that's why I had to drop. So in case you see my network doing a lot of rounds here and there, please let me know so that I get to switch to a different one. Yeah, so last week we were looking at a bit of personal finance. We discussed the 50-30-20 rule. I don't know whether you guys remember or you've forgotten. The reason why I'm doing a recap is because we've had 3 sessions. Like the first session, we were reviewing the first session that we had at the beginning of July, 1st of July. We discussed our plans for the remaining part of the year because we are halfway done with the year. We now have another half of the year to go. Welcome, Virtue. Welcome, Vani, Jablis. Welcome all. Yeah, so we're doing a recap. The first session that we had, we discussed our plans for the remaining part of the year because we were done with 6 months. Now, July, we have 6 months to go. So we talked about going, calling yourself in a meeting, reviewing your priorities and everything, and then setting, some objectives, setting smart goals that will last you through the remaining part of the year, the remaining 6 months. We really say that all your goals, of course, they have to be smart. They have to be measurable, whatever. They have to be timely and all. So we discussed that. Sally, welcome. Now, last week we discussed personal finance and how low income earners per se at least can try to manage their money. We said that, first of all, you must understand your sources of income, where you are making your income from. Is it from business income? Is it from employment? Once this income has come in, how are you managing that income? Are you going to divide it? How much am I going to put into personal, like how much am I going to pay myself in terms of investing? How much am I going to now use in basic expenses? And how much am I saving? We looked at all that. We talked about the 50-30-20 rule. 50, we said it's for needs. Needs are things that you cannot avoid. You must spend on your needs on a daily basis. Hello, Julie, welcome. And then we talked of the 30% that is for wants. Wants are not necessary. So wants are things that you can avoid and use the money to save. 20% go to savings, debt management, and all that. So this whole recap is meant to get us now to what we are discussing today. So Today we are discussing business 101. It's a very simple topic. It's a very simple topic. Let me repeat that. Why am I saying this is a very simple topic? We all have done business in one way or the other. Any transaction that involves an exchange of money for a service or an exchange of money for a product, that's business. So there is no way any of us in this life has not done business. Business doesn't have to be you opening a shop and all that. I believe that we all have been engaged in business or have been involved in business in one way or another. That's why I said it's a simple topic, because we are all aware in the first place, we know what business is. But I now want us to delve deeper into the nitty-gritties of business. Let's look at the basics of business, because probably we might think that we know so much about business, but at the end of the day, we end up missing the nitty-gritties, and as a whole, we end up not turning out to be very successful. Because someone will tell me now, do I really need to join your life? Yet I already have a business. My business is successful. I'm doing well. I'm making profits. Do I really need to be here? I've already had a break even in my business. I've, everything. Their life may not be for you, but there's some tips that you might pick here that you can use as a consultant to someone else. So we still need you in this life. I believe that we all try businesses, whether big businesses, whether small businesses, from time to time. So please make time. It's a short live. Remember, we lost some time when we were starting. So we have like 40 something minutes to go in this live. So I'm going to be a bit fast in uh, discussing these issues. But of course, much of the discussion will come from this class that is live. Much of the discussion will come from you guys. So I'll try to be as fast as I can to ensure that we leave this live with at least something. So what do we need to start a business? That is the very key thing that we need to now look at. So you get that for you to start a business, there are, of course, a number of things that you need to look at, from finances, from the location where you're basing your business, and all that. But all that does not matter if you do not have a business idea. So the first thing that we need to look at when we're starting our businesses is the business idea. Yes, I want to do business. What kind of business do I want to do? That's the first thing. Because, okay, we may say, okay, I have capital, yes, because normally most people will tell you, I'm not able to start a business because I don't have capital. So what if you now have the capital? Someone has come out, maybe a sponsor is giving you, here's a million. I was about to say a million shillings, but I know there are some members in this live who don't use that currency. So let me say, here's $1,000 for you to start business. So if someone gives you that money and you totally have no idea, you might end up squandering them, end up not doing anything. So we need a business idea first. There's a difference between a business idea and a business plan class. So before you start a business, look at the idea. Do you have a solid business idea or a concept that you believe has potential in the market? That should be the first thing you ask yourself. Is my idea or concept having a potential in whichever market I wanna move to? Who are my target audience or my target customers? Who am I targeting? What service or product am I offering? What unique selling points do I need to sustain this idea that I have? I don't know if you guys got those points. Vani says, I sell thrift wares for both men and women. No end to what you can learn about business. Exactly. There's nothing you cannot learn. Like, business is just, new things come in, like, we really keep learning every day, basically. So we need to look at this. What is your business idea? first, after you are done with your idea, you now move to the plan. What do I require and everything? But what is your business idea? How do you come up with business ideas? This is like, I believe some of the people watching me right now are people who have YouTube channels. So someone will ask, before you came up with your YouTube channel, what led you into that specific niche that you're now doing? Is it that it's your hobby, something that you love doing, so you thought it's better to just start documenting it, like cooking and everything? Or do you love traveling, so you thought doing a travel vlog, or like a travel vlog channel, could work? The same applies to business. So for business idea, you look at your hobbies. Which hobbies do I have? Do I love cooking? If I love cooking or baking, then it's easier to come up with a baking business. I can start up a bakery because I have the skills and I have the passion. I love doing what I'm going into. So the idea is very key. Maybe you don't love it, but where you are, you've identified that there is a need. In the estate that you stay, maybe there is no shop. And then you realize that the people in the estate where you stay actually go very far for certain products. And then you're like, what if I just have a small shop here, since I have identified an empty store outside maybe our estate entrance? Why not start a small shop there where I can have all the commodities that these residents of this area need, because it's closer, instead of them going to the supermarket all the way, something of the sort. So a business idea is the first thing. So for you to succeed in whatever business you want to engage in, first, let's start with the idea. And then we'll now build on the idea to get everything else that we require for that particular business. What unique selling points will you put in your idea if you're doing maybe online business? Hi, Oyenike, welcome. What unique ideas, what unique selling points are you going to add to this your business? So maybe you're doing online business. Let's say I've seen Van is saying she sells some wares for men and women. So if Van is located, let's say in Abuja, she can say, I have my online shop. So my idea is selling clothes. What are my unique selling points? I will do free delivery within CBD if her store is located within CBD. So she can say, maybe I'll do free delivery. That is a unique selling point because others charge to deliver. So if you're offering free delivery, which of course, again, you'll have to factor the delivery cost within the price. The moment people hear that there's something free that is coming, they'll do it. Let's say Kausi is doing hair products, she's selling hair products. You can now convince your customers that, uh, if you purchase to a given, let's say a given threshold, let's say like 5K and above, I'll deliver for free. If you purchase past 10K, maybe I'll give you a facial for free. Maybe if you're able to do facials as well, I'll give you a facial for free. If you buy this kind of products, I'll give you a hair wash. I'll give you, you know, freebies. A lot of people love the freebies and all that. So these are extra selling points. Remember, we have not started the business. We're just coming up with the idea and looking at things that will input in establishing the business. So the first point is thinking about the idea. And then after we've thought of the idea, that is when we now shift to the business plan. That is when we now get to outline the goals of the business, the strategies of the business. We do our market analysis, we do our SWOT, strengths, our weaknesses, our threats, and the opportunities that we stand to gain in that market. We look at the financial projections. How much do I need to start this kind of business? We look at the operational details, security wise. Back in school, we used to say, you look at PESTEL, you look at the political, you look at, I'm forgetting the acronym, but I load shortly. Basically, you just look at the risks that are surrounding you. So you include all these in the business plan because you have to assess all the risks that you stand and all the benefits that you stand. So it's basically like cost benefit analysis and all that. So it all comes in the business plan. So you realize that if you happen to have a very good business plan, it will end up maybe attracting investors. Because remember, if you have a good idea, you're starting a business, but you don't have the funding, probably you'll approach one or two people for a loan. or you'll approach a bank for a loan. But if you get to a bank, what will they ask from you? Can we see your business plan? Let's try to, break down those numbers. Let's try to see the viability of your business. So viability of your business will be seen in your business plan, because due to now the financial projections that you'll put in there, whereby you've said, maybe in 6 months, this is where I see my business going. Maybe in the first month, I'll do a few sales because people are not aware of my business. The second month, still the numbers will be low. Of course, my budget for advertising my business will be high. And then gradually, let's say by the 10th month, I'll have broken even. Then after break even, now my graph will start growing. So my business now will start doing well. I'll no longer be injecting money, but the business will be self-sustaining and all that. But all this is in the business plan. You cannot do projections if you've not done proper market analysis. So if, let's say, you're into the cloth business, you have competitors, you have people who are already doing business. Invention ended. You're not going to be the first one doing these things. They are already done. People have done them before. So if you're coming out now to try business, to try a given idea, it's there. It's just that it needs you to be a bit innovative. So you need to come out, look at the competition that exists in the area. What are they selling that is related to me? Maybe what are their price points? And how can I, capitalize on this? Or how unique are they? Like in terms of location, in terms of um, any additions that they are giving, any after sale services that they are offering that I am not offering, or rather that I plan to offer to counter them. Um, Customers normally require, I'm not digressing, but it's still part of this. It's just that it's coming a bit early. There are things that we call CTQs, critical to quality. There are three main issues that customers uh, normally require. I am not sure whether I'll remember all of them, but normally customers require a good price. A good price. So price is always the first thing that attracts everyone. There are people who don't plan to purchase anything. They're impulse buyers, but they can only buy on impulse because of price. So price is number one, critical to quality. Number two is reliability. You're doing, for instance, online sales. And then here you are, you promise me that, you know what, I'll deliver at a given time. And then you fail to deliver at that time that you stated. You are not reliable. I'll not trust you next time. So customers will require a good price. They'll require reliability. Are you reliable? Are you dependable? If you're selling online, I'm really insisting online because most people nowadays start businesses online, Instagram and all. So if you are vindicated online that you have a given stock, is the stock actually available or is not there? You'll end up disappointing the customer. So reliability and price. Number three is variety. Whether you are selling clothes or you are selling whatever, customers love variety. Customers love variety. If you're selling clothes, I don't know the clothes. I don't know how to define this. Okay, if you're selling clothes, let's say ladies, you're selling tops, you're selling trousers, you're selling dresses and all that. So if a customer buys dresses from you today, tomorrow the same dresses that you had on display are the same dresses on display. There's nothing unique that you've brought in. There's no variety. These people will not patronize you continually. They'll obviously leave and go to some other person who constantly has new outfits, who constantly comes in with new things, new products, because people want to try out new outfits and everything. If you are selling food, people want a variety of foods. We can't come to your restaurant and all that you're getting there is semo and let's say amala. Maybe that is what you're serving. And then every day that is what you're serving. Some of us want to eat rice. Some of us want to eat spag. Some of us want to eat noodles. But you don't have that. So we'll stop patronizing you. So reliability. So this applies to anyone. You are doing business. So this is free advice to anyone doing business. It's advice that I charge for. Where I work, I charge for this. Three critical to quality. They're called 3 CTQs that any customer, whether you're in a bank or wherever, will ask for. The price, because even if it's in a bank, I'll ask for the price. If I'm taking a loan, what is the interest on the loan? So it's still price. If it's hospital, I'm being charged a given bill, it's still price. So price applies everywhere. Number two, variety applies everywhere. Reliability applies everywhere. Thuli, whether you're in hair making business, how reliable are you? If you book a client, 8 a.m., come, I'll make your hair. Then at 8 a.m., the client comes, you are yet to open the shop. You're not reliable. You've messed. So reliability applies everywhere. So reliability, price, variety. I told you I don't want to digress. So back to back to the discussion that you are having of business 101. We had talked about you coming up with a business idea, and then secondly, you coming up with a business plan, because we say this business plan will now help you to attract investors, to secure loans, and of course, it will guide your business to growth. Because with the plan, you will know, if I have a plan for 1 year, maybe quarter 1, this is what I'll do, quarter 2, this is what I'll do, quarter 3, this is what I'll do, and the final quarter of the year, this is what I'll do. Number 3, what we need to understand, it's the legal structure of your business. How is your business structured? Yes, I want to start a business. Is it a sole proprietorship? So I just avoid the legal thing. Let me just say, what is the structure of your business? Let's avoid the legal thing. The legal thing applies if you're now registering a limited liability company. But anyway, all businesses have to be registered. We'll talk about registration in a few as we progress. So let's just call it the structure and have the legal in quotes. So another thing is the legal structure, the structure of your business. What is the structure of your business? Is it a sole proprietorship that you want to run alone? Is it a partnership? Do you have maybe 2, 3 partners that you want to partner with to make this business idea of yours a reality? Is it a limited liability company whereby you are now coming up as a group of people and then having shares within these companies? Is it a corporation? So whichever kind of business you want to embark into, whether sole proprietorship, whether partnership, whether limited liability, you need to research what do they require. What do they require? If it is a sole proprietorship, what do I need? Basically, in Kenyan setup, you only need a certificate of registration and your sole proprietorship is good. So you just get your business name, register your business, you're good to go. In a partnership, of course, everyone has, you need now the consent of the other partners and all that, all their details have to be there. So you now look at, if it's partnership, what do we require? If it's a limited liability company, what do we require? Tax regulations. Of course, you can't evade tax. So you all have to pay tax. So if it's a sole proprietor, how am I paying my tax? If it's a partnership, how am I paying my tax? Remember, we have the personal tax and of course we have the corporation tax, which is 30%. In Kenya, it's 30%. So I don't know what it is elsewhere, but in Kenya, it's corporation tax is 30% of the revenue that you guys made in that financial year. So you need to research all this. If it's a partnership, if this is the business we have, how much tax are we going to pay at the end of the period? Is VAT inclusive of this, or do we have to do some withholding tax and everything? So all these things, you should look at them before you start the business. Don't start and then now they come to surprise you when you're already running. Let's be very cautious, guys. So all this is due diligence that you do in advance, earlier. What are the licensing procedures? This is part of the legal structure. What are the licenses that I need? If I'm starting a liquor business, what do I require? I'll need a liquor license. Now in the Kenyan setup, I'll need a liquor license. I'll need a food and hygiene license. I'll need, what else? Probably a host, or maybe a license for a club again. Like there is a host of licenses that you'll need. If you are setting it in Nairobi, the Nairobi County will require you to have their own license, their own business permit. So you will now look at this, because this will be part of your business plan. What costs are involved? Because these licenses don't come for free, they come at a fee. So whichever license is required, you get to note down how much they're charging, and this will be part of your business plan. That for the finances that I need to start, this needs to be part of it, because you can't open your shop without a license. So you have to prepare this money, because it will be a prepayment before even you set up the business. You start up everything else, you start up operation. So we need to be very keen on this. So number one, what is the business idea? Number two, get your business plan. Number three, what is the legal structure? And then number four, you are starting a business. You're not going to just run a business randomly without a name. So what are we gonna call this business? Personally, if I'm starting a business, obviously I want Savik to be a brand that is known out there. So if I want Savik to be a brand, a big brand out there, and since I've started popularizing the name, I'll rather use Savik as my business name. But really, that is besides the point. So number four is name and branding. So what name are we calling this business that we're establishing? So you need to think about this like in the initial stage, before even the business is set up. Why are we doing this? We need to choose a name that is memorable and relevant to the business. You're not going to call yourself, let's say, Vani Concepts. No, that applies to clothes still. So concepts can apply to clothes. I wanted to say like Vani Concepts, and then you're selling food. People will be wondering, okay, Vani Concepts and food maybe makes sense, maybe doesn't make sense as such, but really, it needs to be a name that is relatable to the business that you're doing. If you say you have Vani Ventures, and then in Vani Ventures with a POS, in Vani Ventures with a cloth line, people just, it's relatable. Ventures is just like a random, like a name that is universal. So we need to choose a memorable and very relevant name. Remember, again, we need to do a name search, because you might be using a name that someone else is using, and you get that maybe they've trademarked their name. So you need to research well and ensure that even this name that you're choosing, this Vani Concepts name that you've chosen, so Vani, sorry for using it as an example, but really we just need to learn these things. So now, if you're using Vani Concept, for instance, as our name, then we need to trademark that name to protect it, so that Savik doesn't later realize that Vani Concept is actually making money as a name. Let me try to use that name as well to do my business. So we need to trademark that name as well. So we need to equally get good brand identity. How do we get a good brand identity? If it's Vani Concepts, let's come up with a beautiful logo. We can say VC, Vani Concept. So whichever way we want to, whichever we want to brand it, but let's have a logo. Let's have a website. Let's have some printout, some good marketing materials that we've put out to help in brand messaging, to help us in pushing the brand out there, So name is very key. It should be memorable. Anytime, like right now, anytime if you talk about a soda, the first thing that will come to your mind is Coca-Cola. In Kenya, we say Coca-Cola, but I learned in Nigeria, they say Coca-Cola. So I have to now use that pronunciation. So when you talk of soda, probably what comes to your mind is Coca-Cola or Coca-Cola. Why? Because of the brand name, the way they've marketed the brand. There's a way they've, put out the message regarding the name. So they chose a good name that is relatable, that is, so that whoever is not trying to come up with soda nowadays, be it Pepsi, they'll say Pepsi Cola. You hear Biggie Cola. They're still trying to copy all these other people because of what they put in minds of people and all that. So the name that we get to use is actually very key, and it should be memorable, it should be relatable, it should be relevant, and of course it should be an easy name, a simple name that can be easily remembered. As we brand, let's get a good logo, let's get a website, let's get some marketing materials, let's print some few things out that you can hand out to people. If you give your business card to someone, they can easily remember you. Sometimes someone will just be on their purse or in their pocket, and then they're like, Vani Concepts, oh, I made this CEO somewhere. And then so it helps in you growing your brand as well. So branding is very key. So we've looked at, I'm always repeating this because I like my class to just grasp everything. So we've our business idea, we've come up with our business plan, we've looked at the legal structure, whether we are registering a partnership, a sole proprietorship, or a limited company. Then we've come with a good business name, and we've done very good branding. We have our logos out, we have our website out. But remember, all this was in the mind. There's something we are missing that is very key. And this is what is going to drive our business. And that is money. Money, we require financing, guys. So number 5 is finance. We need money. Because without money, your business plan is vanity. All these things that you've been researching, all the logos that you've come up with, all the brand names that you've come up with won't matter. So you need money. How are you going to access money? So you need to assess your financial needs and explore the funding options. What funding options do I have? Can I rely on family to give me a loan? Can I rely on, do I have savings to start with? Can I get a loan in a bank? It depends. Some people come from good families. Maybe your family has saving, they're doing other businesses. So you just tell them, I want to start business. And then they'll be like, we're funding you. There's some people who come, we all come from different backgrounds. The other day, someone was saying that, if you've already hit 30, you're no longer coming from a humble background. You are the background yourself. So you really need to start. Sorry, guys. So you are the background yourself. So you really need now to establish a good background for your kids as well. So we really need to now assess ourselves. How is my finance like? What options do I have to fund this business that I plan to start? Am I going to get a loan? Am I going to use my savings? Do I have friends that can support me start this? So it's very key. So whether you have personal savings, whether you have access to bank loans, do we have any financial institutions that can, get to lend you something to start? Do we have any venture capital somewhere that we want to now use in this? Is there a place where we can pitch, write a good proposal and then maybe get a grant like the World Bank and stuff like that to start doing our business? Can we do some crowdfunding of sorts? So we need to come up with a good budget. This good budget will give us the financial projections that we need to manage. Okay, let me put this clearly. Yes, I need these finances. But besides the finances that you need, you now need a budget. The budget is your guide to, I'll use 10,000 for registration. 10,000 for business name and all that registration is here. I'll use 100,000 for stock. I'll use 100,000 to set up the office. I'll use this to set up shop and all that. So we need to have that budgeted, because you can say, okay, I project that I need 5 million. Sorry to use shillings again. So I need like $5,000 to set up a business. The moment you get the $5,000, but there is no clear budget, my friend, you're doomed. So create a budget and very good financial projections, as these will help you to manage the finances effectively. As we take this break, let me just look at your comments, and then research cannot be ignored. Julie is saying reliability, price, variety. Exactly, those are very key. RPV. Wow, I love the acronym too. We are learning today. Love it. Yes, you got the pronunciation. Coca-Cola, whatever. We have a soda called Fizzy here. I've not seen Fizzy. Okay. You call it like Igbo man. True though. Yeah. Like me, my business is strictly online and people need to trust you to buy. Van, exactly. And I think I started with this issue of online business. So reliability. is very key, especially for online business. You promise that you'll deliver at a given time, and then if you end up not delivering at that time, people will not trust you. Personally, if you're doing online business, I'll prefer pay on delivery, because some of these online online apps and all that, they've messed us at some point. So sometimes we really tend not to rely, rather trust them that much. So but if you insist on payment in advance before delivering and you end up delivering, of course, you build trust and customers will tend to trust you continually. But if you fail to deliver, people will be shaky and they'll stop patronizing you. But really, RPV it is. So we've looked at two, or rather 5 points. So I really hope that these are very clear. Business 101. You have your business idea, you have your business plan. We've looked at the legal structure. We've looked at you getting a good name and branding. We've talked about you accessing finances. Now, assuming that all the other things have happened, you've chosen your name, you've got money, you've researched on the legal structure, you've your business plan in place. We now need to register that business. So business registration is number 6. We now need to register that business. So of course, viewers in here from different countries, and different countries have different government authorities that are involved in business registration. So you just need to register your business with the appropriate government authority. So you ensure that you get to obtain, all the necessary permits that are required, get all the licenses and certifications that are required in your field. For instance, the reason why I'm talking of certifications, I know I've been watching Kausi's content. Kausi is a pharmacist. Of course, Kausi is a doctor, but she's into pharmacy. For you to set up a pharmacy, if you're in Kenya, you will need to be a member of KMPDU, Kenya Medical Practitioners Something Board. You need to be a member of that. So you can't set up a pharmacy if you're not a member of this. So there are some memberships that you require. There are some certifications that you require. If you're a pharmacist, even at diploma level, they still get they have their own certificate. So you need to have this certificate for you to register a pharmacy, for you to open a pharmacy, because we don't want any quack, any random quack to be here administering medicine to us. At the end of the day, if you're into tax, like my case, I have accounting background, of a finance background, of course, business. So if I'm doing tax returns for someone, I need to show membership. So of course, I am now a member of ISPAC. It's a like an association of accountants, of registered accountants. So it's the Institute of Certified Public Accountants. So you need to be part of this for you to do maybe consultancy on that particular line. So in at the point of business registration, that is when we now get to learn what are the necessary permits that we need to establish this business. If it's liquor business, do we need NEMA license again, because there'll be a lot of noise happening? So the national environment, whatever the way they call it, the NEMA, will need us to have a permit because of the noise that is likely to come out. Public health will have their own license. All these people will have their own permits and licenses. So we need to obtain everything during the stage of registration. I'm really insisting on this because a lot of people actually start businesses, but they don't register the businesses. What are the repercussions? The moment you don't register the business, it means obviously you're not even going to pay tax. So when the tax authorities now start chasing you for tax evasion, it will be a problem. You'll have to close shop and maybe even end up being arrested and all that. So we need to obtain all the necessary permits, all the necessary licenses, all the certifications that we require in the industry. We get to register with our tax authorities in Kenya. We need to register with KRA, ensure that we get a PIN number, a tax identification number that we'll now be using when submitting our tax returns to ensure that we are law-abiding citizens who are paying tax and all that. Ensure that you register your business name. Remember, we talked about copyrighting your name. So you identify the name, you copyrighted it, but remember, you've not registered it. So you need to register that name so that no one else can actually use it. I hope that is very clear. So Business name registration is part of business registration as a whole. So we get to ensure that we comply with all the local authorities. In the Kenyan setup, we've county governments, we've the national government. So most of the businesses are normally done under the county government. In Nigeria, they have states. So if, for instance, I'm in Kwara State, so Kwara State government issue their own licenses, they issue their own permits. So the same setup in Kenya is the the states in Nigeria are referred to as counties in Kenya, not countries, but counties. So the counties have a governor, they have a senator, and everything. The same setup that is in Nigeria, where they have states, and these states are managed by or they are led by governors, and then they have senators and everything. So just different names, same setup. So most of these states, like the states or the counties, they give their own documentations, they give their own permits, they give their own licenses. So ensure that you comply with all this. And then we now need to move to the elephant in the room. The elephant in the room. Remember, you've chosen your business name, you've your business idea, you've found finances, you've a good brand name, you've registered your business, but guys, where are you locating your business? So location and infrastructure are very key. Where are you setting up your business? Yes, you've everything well set up, everything well thought out. You've your money, you've good ideas, very viable ideas. But guys, location is very key. Location is very key. One, I don't remember the name of this expert in marketing who said the 4 P's of marketing are price, placement, product, and promotion. I'm trying to remember. I don't know whether it was Draka. I don't really remember who said this. It's long. I was in that class like 15 years ago. But there's one of these marketers who actually talked about the 4 P's of marketing being price, promotion, product, and placement. Placement is of course how it's displayed in the location basically. So location is very key. Where are you? Where is your business located? Is it at a strategic point? Is it online? If it's like a pharmacy, of course you can't have a pharmacy online. So it's a physical building. So if it's a physical building, what necessary equipment do we require in this? Obviously, we must have a like a cooling system in the pharmacy, like a refrigeration and all that. So we must have power. In Nigeria, power is called light. So we must have light in this pharmacy. We've to have a very nice cooling system in there. So we need a fridge, a refrigerator. We need to buy, you know, all this. So for you now to start a business, where you are locating it and the infrastructure, what do I need? Yes, I want to start maybe I'm doing a retail storefront. So if I'm doing a retail shop or a supermarket, what do I need? I need shelves. If I need shelves, I need a counter. I need desktops. I need a good computer systems. I need a network. So all this now comes up. I've identified my location and the infrastructure in it that is required to enable me run the business. So technology. What kind of technology do I need? What utilities do I need? I'm starting a supermarket. I'm starting an eatery, a hotel. If I'm starting an eatery, I need utilities. I need a washroom for my people to go relieve themselves when they are eating. I need a place where they can wash their hands. So all these things are very key. Yes, you can say that point is very strategic. I've identified it. It's at the last corner of the street. But does it have all these other utilities that people need? You might have identified a small shop. You want to open a barber shop. You've identified a place. Yes, it's good. But maybe it's at the end of the road where it's dusty and people might be seated in there, but dust is coming in. So really, the reason why I call it the elephant in the room is because everything revolves around location. You can have the finances, you can have everything, but if your location is bad, if you choose a bad location, guys, I can guarantee you your business is destined for failure. So be very cautious when it comes to selecting a location. We're about to conclude with just 3 points to go. So bear with me and then I'll get to read your comments as we finalize. I'm trying to save on time because we're meant to close this live at 7. So, number 8, people management. Currently, most HR experts no longer want to refer to human resources as human resource per se. They don't want to be called HR people. They want to be called the people team. So, you need people. You are setting up a business. You can't do the business alone. Even if it's a sole proprietorship, you still need an extra hand to help you. So, even as you get to choose your good location, you equally need to identify the right skill set that will help you run this business. So identify the skills that you require. If I'm setting up an eatery or hotel, I need some expert chefs. I am not gonna just employ anyone who is a dishwasher and expect them to cook, very special meals. No, they're not going to do that. So you need to identify good chefs. If it's Vani who is running a retail, an on clothing store, she might need some fashion designers or some tailors. I'm told tailors nowadays love to be referred to as fashion designers. So no disrespect, please. I'm just that's what that's the new name that I had. So someone told me, don't call me a tailor, I'm a fashion designer. So much respect to you guys, because without you guys, we couldn't be wearing any clothes. So if you are like Vani, for instance, is having this clothing store, maybe she should hire, if she hires an assistant, probably the assistant should be good at tailoring and doing all these things, because some customers might require their clothes adjusted and everything. So you need to hire someone with a skill set that is required in that business. So not just any random hires. So identify the skills that your business needs and then get to recruit employees, whether permanently or temporarily or on contract, to help you run that. You can equally contract a third party company to give you employees who can deliver. And then, of course, you sort yourselves out. So get to establish clear roles. I need to hire staff. What will they be doing? If it's a chef, the chef will be doing 1, 2, 3. If it's a security man who will be manning my business, these 1, 2, 3 things that they'll be doing. If it's a cashier who will be handling my cash, because every business, we said that what the exchange of money for a service or product is what amounts to business. So the money is being exchanged. So in any money related business, of course, money related transaction, you require a cashier. So who am I hiring as a cashier? Is this person proficient with certain maybe systems, computer systems, or stuff like that? Number 9, second last, is of course, how do we market our business? How do we get to promote our business? We've established everything, but people don't know about us. So how do we get people to know about us? It's just like in YouTube where you're saying, I have my channel, people don't know about my channel. So how am I gonna market my channel? Probably I'll maybe post on my WhatsApp and tell people, guys, I have a YouTube channel, please check it out and get to check out my content and stuff like basically you have to promote. If it's on, you have an online store. I've used Vani for so long. So Vani Concepts. You're on IG, you're on Instagram, you can maybe use Facebook ads, you can use Instagram ads to send your brand out there so that people get to know about you. You can print some, leaflets, spread them out in the streets, people get to know about you. You can use even YouTube to advertise. I mean, people pay YouTube for ads. So basically just use various marketing channels, whether digitally, whether social media, whether you advertise, you get a billboard and put it out, whichever way. But the main thing is just ensure that you are advertising. Otherwise, marketing is very key. Marketing normally for a new business takes a lot of budget. So you need to invest well in marketing and promotion. And of course, networking is very key. You look at they normally say that your network is your net worth. Your network is your net worth. The people that you know, actually your net worth. So if you know many people, then these are your network. They are the people that will make you rich or make you poor. So you can utilize your network in marketing. You have a WhatsApp group of your friends, 30 friends. You can send a flyer to them and then ask them to all post on their WhatsApp status for people to know about your business. And then if their friends reach out to them asking for your contact and all that, then that's how business works. So networking can equally apply as part of marketing and promotion. And then finally, we're operating in Nigeria, the federal, the federal state. I don't know whether to call it that, of Nigeria. In Kenya, we say it's the Republic of Kenya. That's how we refer to a country. So you need to comply to all the laws of the country, especially on taxation. You need to comply. Every industry has its own laws. If it's like pharmacy, I said you need to be a member of KMPDU. They are of their own conferences that they sometimes have. You need maybe to be attending. Like basically, you need to comply. If it's given like now in Nairobi, you have to have a fire license. You need to be compliant as far as fire inspection is concerned. Ensure that you've fire extinguishers in your business and all that. You need to have what do we call this, insurance for your business, so that in case fire comes up and everything, you'll get compensated at the end of the day. So you need to be compliant to all this, because you are required to have insurance for your business. You are required to have fire extinguishers for your business. You are required to have safety, like safety measures. People in your business should dress according to that business. If you are running a hotel, they should dress, you know, as chefs and everything. They have their safety gear so that hair does not fall into food and everything. So ensure that all these compliance is happening. So I want to run through all the 10 points that we've highlighted under Business 101. Then I take a minute to read through your comments before my time elapses. So I really appreciate that you guys have spent your time, that you've devoted your 1 hour to listen to me preach, to listen to me teach. I really hope that all these lives that you're doing are actually beneficial. So the best thing that you can do, at least, is to like the live, and maybe you can drop a comment after this on the video, and you can equally share to other people so that they equally get to come and learn. So we've said that there are 10 common factors that you need to consider when starting a business. Factor number one, we've talked about coming up with the business idea. So let me use my finger. So number one is the business idea, establishing the business idea, coming up with a business plan as the second thing. Number three, coming up with a structure, rather researching about the business structure, the legal structure. Am I doing a sole proprietorship? Am I doing a partnership? Am I doing a limited liability company and all that? Number four is the name that you're giving, that you're gonna name your business, whereby you said it should be relevant to your business, it should be memorable. Number five is looking at the financing. Where am I gonna get this money? Am I gonna get through loans? Am I gonna get through personal savings, or what happens? Number six, registering the business. Number seven, which is we said is the elephant in the room, is the location. That is very key, and the infrastructure required for that business. Number eight is the human resource, the people, the employees that you require. Do they have the right skill set to run your business? Number nine, we've talked about marketing. This is very key as well. You need to invest well in marketing. That is the only way people will get to know about your business. And then number 10 is, of course, compliance, ensuring that you're in good books of the local authorities where you're operating in. Otherwise, they'll keep coming for you every single day and your business will not do well. Oyenike says we are a republic too, so the Republic of Nigeria. Much respect. No, I get confused because of Abuja. You know, when I get to Abuja, it's like it's the federal capital territory. So I was like, so do we call the country the Federal Republic of Nigeria, or what? So that's how the confusion comes in. But basically, that's it. I'm just trying to run through your comments because I'm out of time. So I'm seeing Jubilee says you're very correct. Use everything to advertise. Exactly. Use all modes that you can access to advertise your business. So social media, whichever, just ensure that you advertise your business. Put your business out there. People will not know what you're doing. People will not know the service you're offering unless you advertise. So ensure that you advertise. But location is key. Forget everything else. Location, where you're locating your business, very key. How are you going to market? Where are you going to get the money? Get a good name that people won't forget. Otherwise, if it's not a memorable name, we'll forget about you easily. So, ladies and gentlemen, man, I really appreciate that you guys have spent time listen to you preach. Yeah, really. Sometimes we have to preach. These things, they're obvious tips. They're obvious tips. They're tips that we know, but we need to keep repeating them. Whenever you repeat something from time to time, you get to memorize it. When you memorize it, it gets internalized and you get to now put it into action. That's why we keep repeating these tips on a daily basis. They're obvious things, yes. They are things you know. That's why I said you're already doing businesses, but we can incorporate whatever we've said into our businesses. Remember, there are 3 CTQs that customers require: critical to quality, variety, reliability, price. Don't forget that. If you forget everything that you've discussed in this live, please don't forget those 3 things. Otherwise, guys, really appreciate. I had a few issues. That is why the live started a bit late, but I will not keep you. I promise to keep you up to 7 p.m. It's 7:01. So I really appreciate that you've spent your time. You've spared time to listen to my tips. I really hope that you'll put them into action. And on that note, I'll say adios. Peace out. The French say a bientôt. In Kenya, we say kwaheri. Bye bye, guys. See you next time in the next video or in the next live. We always do this every Saturday as from 6 p.m. West African time and as from 8 p.m. Kenyan time. Thank you so much. In case you love such kind of topics, please drop a comment so that we can always discuss them in our subsequent lives. So much appreciated. Peace. Bye bye.